what's really going on. I'm going to end today's news by a very quick look at countering extremism, because, of course, we come back to this business that anybody who dares speak out about what's happening, not only here in UK, could be in Gaza or could be in Iraq or Iran, you are going to come under the network of extremism. So this is the government's Commissioner for Countering Extremism, Robin Simcox. And I just wanted to have a little look at what he said in part of the commentary on the website, the government website itself. He says, as the government's independent advisor on extremism, I've long observed a persistent debate around what motivates terrorism. Some point to the role of ideas. Others emphasize socioeconomics, personal trauma, or mental illness. This debate matters enormously for how we shape our counter-terrorism policies. And he goes on to say that to bring clarity to this question, I've commissioned Dr. Donald Holbrook to conduct forensic research examining the electronic content collected from 100 UK terrorists over several decades. His findings, published today, are unequivocal and significant. Now, this is just one paragraph from the report, but I've decided to bring this to the fore. It says the evidence is clear. And he goes on to say that what Dr. Holbrook discovered is striking. Terrorists do not merely dabble with extremist ideology. They immerse themselves in it. They actively seek it out. They consume, debate, and even produce ideological content that guides and justifies their actions. So according to the Commissioner, it's all very clear. But let's remember what we discussed in Monday's news when Ben Rumid brought up this policy exchange document, which was entitled Extremely Confused, the government's new counter-extremism review revealed. And this is because the document was basically saying that the government just had no idea what behaviour was what. It was confused. It was chaotic. It's a really interesting report to read. But whilst this tells us the chaos in government, the Commissioner himself is appointing a man linked to this organisation, the International Centre for Counter-Terrorism. And this is a think tank based in The Hague, Netherlands, providing research, policy advice, training and other solutions to support better counter-terrorism policies. Well, here's, if we just pop that back on screen, here's Donald Holbrook himself. And if you look at this organisation, you quickly find that it's fully in bed with the European Union's own hub for the prevention of radicalisation. So we are not dealing with a UK-generated policy. We are still locked into an EU-based policy. And as UK Column has said for many years, this is the reality of Brexit without the exit. Now, to end on a lighter note, but still with some teaching content, let's have a look at Yes Minister talking about defence. I think we've shown this before, but I think it's an important one to review.
Bernard, what is the purpose of our defence policy?
To defend Britain.
Is to make people believe Britain is defended.
The Russian.
Not the Russians, the British. Russians know it's not. It's for all our simple, ignorant people. The aim of the defence policy is to make them feel secure. Bernard, we have a magic wand. It is called Trident. Nobody understands anything about it, except that it will cost £15 billion, which means it must be wonderful. All we have to do is write a cheque and then we can all relax. But if people in government start talking about it, in the end they'll start thinking about it. They will come to realise the problem, the flaws in the reasoning.
There is one thing, though. This TV broadcast he's doing, suppose he uses it to announce his new policy.
We can't. First it have to go through Cabinet and the House.
Well, you can do that. If the Prime Minister's made up his mind.
Then he must unmake it.
But he's the Prime Minister.
He has his own car, nice house in London, place in the country, endless publicity, and a pension for life. What more does he want?
I think he wants to govern Britain.
Well, stop him, Bernard.
So comedy, humour, laughter, but a very strong message there that the people of Britain are to be deceived, to be made to think what the power base wants, and even the Prime Minister himself or herself is going to be controlled to do the bidding of those behind the scenes. So whilst we may laugh at that short clip, I think there's a lot of very serious comment and analysis has gone on in the background, which reflects exactly on the position today. We will leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us wherever you are in the world. And if you're a UK column member, we'll be back in a few moments for UK column extra. Vanessa and Sandy, I look forward to speaking in more detail about the subjects of today's news in our extra. And thank you also for joining me on the news today. We'll leave it there. Bye-bye.